Okay, so we are going to work on how do you develop an histogram or for any given data. So how do we okay, so draw the frequency distribution. So this is what the today's practical is. Okay, so as we already discussed about what is the frequency distribution, which is the basically the distribution of or the frequency of the values which were distributed across the different class intervals, which we have already seen. How do we make the data by taking the weight of 30 adults with a age group of 30 to 35 years. Okay, so now so suppose any data which has been given to you, so how do we do this analysis, or how do we make the frequency distribution for this particular data? So assume that, so I just typed some of the values, so you can just watch this lecture. Accordingly, you can take the data which you have already done for your frequency distribution table of 30 adults, or any data which you could take, and accordingly you can draw a frequency distribution table. So these are, say, assume that these are the scores for particular okay, data for a particular variable. So you can start, you can just write some numbers. So now when you have these many numbers with you, or any number of things which you can add it. So now the first thing is that you have to find out the what is the maximum value in this case, and what is the minimum value which you are going to have. So to find out the maximum, so you write maximum and you write minimum in the B column. Then for maximum, just go here and you write equivalent to max colon bracket, and then you type the values from here to here, and then you close the bracket and enter it. So it means that you will now see that. So you can also look into individual values, but it will be difficult to find out, are also time consuming. So that's why better you just take max. So you see, this is how you do maximum value and minimum value. You have to find out from this. So maximum value to find out in a given set of values, the formula you can fit it here will be like equivalent to max. Okay, so then you take it from okay, from top to bottom. Okay, so then again I repeat this. So you take this and you take okay, here from here to here, and then okay, so sorry, first you have to do this here and equivalent to, okay, so then you have a max and colon and okay, so then you close the bracket, you enter it. Then minimum, again you can write an equation here, minimum min a bracket. Okay, so then again you take the values from here to here. Okay, so then you close the bracket, enter. Okay, so you got, so you have a minimum value the 24 and maximum value 28. So this is how you will do this first instance. So you will find out. So you find out first minimum value and the maximum value. That is how you will do it. After that, so now you have to do the class intervals. Okay, so second is you have to type your class intervals or whatever you could write. So it means that the minimum value is 24. So you can write the class interval, okay, starting from say 20 to 25. Okay, 5 class interval you can do that. Then 26 to 30. Okay, so then 31 to 35. Then 36 to 40. Okay, so then 41 to 45. Okay, you can also have a 10 class interval. The width of the class will be 10, but I'm just giving 5 as my class width. Then 46 to, okay, 50. I'm doing inclusive manner in this. Then 51 to 55, 56, okay, to 60, and then 61 to 5, and then 66 to 70. Okay, so if you feel that there are class intervals are many, so you can also make them into 5. Instead of 5, you can also make 10. Okay, so then 71 to 75, and okay, so 76 to 8. So it means that I have put my values as this one. Okay, so but this Excel program doesn't take this class interval in this, so you basically take these values. So you can write values which we normally call them as a pin, and in this you write the upper class intervals here, like okay, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80. Clear. So this is how you have to take, though you have made them into, this is for your understanding that you have made this class interval from width of the class is 5, but you can write bin, and so then you can add these values in this case. So once you have entered these values down, okay, so then what is required is that please go to data. Okay, so go to data. When you go to data, you see that there is a thing which is called as a data analysis. So many of the times you may not have this option when you have opened first time in your Excel program. So for that, what you do is that, okay, so for that, what will you do that? So as I have included here, that's why you are finding it. In case if you don't find the data analysis, go to the file, okay, and then you can go to the options. Okay, so then you can add-ins. Okay, so then when you add this add-in, so when you will see max action, you will say go. Okay, so you will see data analysis tool pack, analysis toolbar. So if you want, you can select both of this and then it say okay. But anyway, if you have already data analysis in your Excel sheet, you don't need to bother about it. In case if you don't find them, again I repeat, you go to file. Okay, so then you can see this here options. Go to options. Okay, so then you have add-ins. Okay, so when you click add-ins, so you will see that manage Excel, then go to this. So you will find analysis tool pack, and analysis tool pack will be. So you can select the first one is enough, but you can also select second. Then you said okay. So then automatically this will go and come here. But as then I am not going to do it because I already have with me in this particular cases. So once you have this data analysis, okay, now so what you have done is that this is your raw data, and first and foremost, what you have done is that you have just find out what is the maximum value, what is the minimum value. Based on that, you have divided them into different class intervals. Okay, where I took the width of the class as 5, so 20 to 25, and I have done it is inclusive manner. So you can say that 20 to 25. So anything, if at all it is in a point up to 25, it will come here. 25.1 onwards will go to 26. Okay, that which we already discussed. And then you take one as a bin, and you please write down that maximum, okay, or upper class limit only in this case. So when I say 25 to 30, so anything which is beyond 25 below 30 will be fall into this particular category. So this is a how also you can represent. So now go to data analysis. Okay, so when you go to data analysis, see you have so many analytical tools of statistics, starting from ANOVA, correlation, covariance. So like that, you will have so many F tests and so many tests. You have these regression, sampling, t-test, everything is there, which we will learn at later stages. So as we are interested now on histogram, so please select our, okay, so an histogram, and then you say okay. So when you say this, you will get this particular table here. Once you got this table, so now you have to fill out what is your input range and what is your bin range, and then are you taking these values. So everything you have to type here to get a tree. So now what I am doing is that, so suppose if I say input, okay, which is there here. So this is my input data. So I am also taking the first scores also, without the number also I am Apart from numbers, I'm also considering the stores which you could select it here. So then you say okay. Then basically you say label also because you have considered the label also. Then next is a bin range. So you take a bin range and then you start from bin and you go on adding this particular. Then you say, so when you want to put, say, suppose you can select some outputs range here, then put a cursor here and select here, and then you can put a chart output for this particular data, and just you click it and you said okay. So you will get a chart. So this is the histogram chart. Okay, so you may ask me, I can also put 20, 30, 40 and I can get this chart. Because basically it is not as such a histogram, but this is the first phase of the histogram which you got it from here. So this is your bin and this is your frequency. You see that you don't need to select now for which class interval, what is the frequency. Automatically, the Excel sheet has been calculated accordingly. It has been displayed your histogram. Of course, this is not looking like an histogram, but it is looking like a bar diagram at this particular stage. Okay, so as we already know frequency, so what you do is that you can just delete these frequencies so that you can improve the particular graph. So now the another thing which you have to look into this particular case is that now this looks as if for 25 the frequency is 4, for 30 the frequency is 2, for 35 the frequency is 3, for 40 there is no frequency. So this is not the way the histogram looks like. So what you can do that you can go to the design here. Okay, here also you can do that, but the best way is that you go to design. So when you go to design, okay, so there are quick layouts which are present here. You see that there are so many quick layouts which are present here. So this is the histogram layout which shows this. Okay, so now you got the histogram. So now this histogram, so that this is a frequency, so you can also expand whatever the way you want because you don't have any value on this particular thing. That's why you got it into this particular cases. Okay, so now what you do is that you can do this filtering or painting or everything, or you can just simply put a right click on that and format axis. You can get them. Then you will get these series options. So you can say you want to fill the borders. So you can do that. You can put a solid lines here and you can select the color of the line here. Okay, so then you said okay. So this is your, because this is how the histogram looks. So because the color is okay black, so that's why it looks like this. So what we can do is that you can change the color, or you can also say no color in this case. Okay, so because this is the color which have been selected, and so you can say this. Okay, so you, okay, so and then the solid lines. Okay, so then you will say solid fill will be your dark, and then fill, no fill. This, okay. Then you can have this color here. Select color also. Okay, so then so this is how you got the frequency distribution. And still you see that these numbers are 25, 30, 35. So either you go to here and you can change like the first number is 24. So what we did is from the 20 to okay 25. Okay, so then 26 to okay, so like 30. Okay, so then 31 to 35, then 36 to 40, okay, 41 to 45, and 46 to 50, and 51 to 55. Okay, so then 56 to 60. Okay, then 60. Sorry, 61 to 65, then 66 to 70. Okay, 71 to 75, and 76 to 80. And of course, if you have more, you can have it. Clear now? So this is how now you will see your histogram which you got it. Okay, because as we do not have any value in this case, suppose if I try to add I don't know some value, but I have to select the column. Automatically, you can have one value. Otherwise, assume that in this case 36 to 40, whatever maybe weight or whatever it is. So you are not finding that particular any frequency to that particular interval which you are getting it. So this is how you will make your histogram for any given data by using it. Because you may assume that it's very easy, but it's not that easy the way you do that. You can make bar diagrams, but to make an histogram by normal way it is not possible. Of course, if you want to change here, so you can say like test, or you can say okay, so you can type here like class interval. Okay, so suppose for anything histogram for course, anything which you want to do that. Of course, this is a frequency. You can as such keep that frequency. Of course, like any other graph, you can the format axis. So where you will have major and minor. So instead of having the like you don't have individuals like a 0.5, 1 or 2. So what you can do is that you can also change these axis to minimum and maximum. So you can say that if you say maximum is 5, and so major line could be 1, and so that could change, so you will see that you can get these values. Okay, then if you want to have that format axis like this, so you can put them the labels in that horizontally or vertically, whatever it is. So you have the options which you put. So these are all the different options which are available for you, but that's a different issue. But this is how you can draw any histogram for any given data. So please tell me if you have any doubt. I will stop recording.